my report was, does some knowledge belong only to a particular community of knowers? Simply that means that there is knowledge that we know and there is knowledge we don't. But on the other hand, there are pieces of knowledge that only a group of people would know that others might not necessarily be aware about. I picked this IR prompt because I could personally connect to it. Growing up, I was a Bharatanatyam dancer and none of my friends used to know anything about it. So it was pretty hard for me to have a conversation about it with them. I thought it was a bad thing at first, but after I matured, I realized that, okay, maybe I'm smarter than everybody else because I know something that they don't know necessarily. So that was the first thing that I remembered when I read this IR prompt, which is why I stuck to it through the whole process. Coming to the second object, the Tibetan singing bowl. Now, it's an instrument and it's known for the soothing sound it creates when it's played. But what's interesting is that Tibetan monks, they prefer not to share information about it. So there's a myth going on that is it actually from Tibet or it's from somewhere else, but through revolution it's come down to Tibet and now it's known as the Tibetan singing bowl. In the monasteries you could see that they practice with this bowl, but they don't prefer to talk about it, which separates them from every other monk. So that knowledge belongs to Tibetan monks solely, and I wouldn't know why they play this instrument, why was it created, what was the purpose, the pros and the cons. Now it produces 660 Hertz. Is that actually safe for us to play that and for a constant amount of time? Is that safe for the human body mentally or physically? We wouldn't know except they would. So that knowledge separates them from everybody else. Diversified world where interpersonal and intrapersonal relationships are inevitable. For that reason, many consider religion the form from which they channel through their daily lives. I have chosen the theme, how can we distinguish between knowledge, belief and opinion, and my theme is knowledge and religion. I believe it is vital that one demarcates the differences between them in order to understand the role of religion in their lives. Coming back to why I chose these three objects to base my entire essay on, it's because I belong from a Jain family and I believe that Jainism has scientific principles behind them and I wanted to investigate on it. This article shows various scientific theories and it helps people understand how the main ideology of Jainism, which is everything has life, is actually true and scientists have found evidences for the same. Moving on, the second object talked about opinions and how one person has given his opinion on how Sikhism is the best religion to follow. The third one shows the belief of a Taliban militant in the misinterpretation of Quran, which is leading them to oppress women in order to protect their chastity and dignity.
TOK exhibition, I chose the prompt, what counts as good evidence for a claim? And I chose the theme, knowledge and the knower. I chose this particular prompt because I am a person who likes to understand things and conduct research. And oftentimes I'm really confused as to what evidence I can use for a claim that I'm making or a claim that I'm getting to know. I also chose this theme because we are all knowers. And as a knower, it is very important to us that we understand what kind of evidence we should even consider before we accept a claim. I have the second object, which is the sum of all positive integers. So the claim over here is that when we add all the integers, positive integers from 1 to infinity, we get the answer as -1 upon 8. To prove this, many mathematicians and professors have showed that if we take a series, we get 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to infinity equals s, which is the sum. We can take the three numbers like this. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, so 9. 5 plus 6 plus 7, 18. 8 plus 9 plus 10, 27. We can add this, and this is similar to S. It is the same. We can simplify this further, which is 1 plus 9 into 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to infinity, which is also the same thing. Now this particular part can be related back to over here, and it can be written as S. So 1 plus 9 S equals S. We can rearrange it, and after rearranging we will get that S, which is the sum, is equals to -1 over 8. Now this is mathematical evidence, which is a very strong kind of evidence. Although it is not logical, it is missing logical evidence, because when we see that the first two numbers, which is 1 and 2, we can add them together and we will get the answer as we will get the answer as 3, which is greater than the answer we are getting for the entire series. We are also adding positive integers, which means that there will be no chance of getting a negative outcome. So thus we can state that this is not a good evidence for the claim that is made that -1/8 is the sum of all positive integers.